Alrighty, welcome back to It's All Good Podcast. My name is Max. I'm the freaking host of this podcast, and we have a guest on the podcast today, obviously. And have you ever been on a podcast before?
Yeah, I've been on one.
Oh, good, because if you were going to say no, I'd probably kick you out of this podcast right now.
That's fair.
No, it's not a joke.
Oh. I gotta go anyway.
Yeah, dude, get out of here. Yeah, so we have Joe, and this is a little bit of a different episode because a lot of my other episodes I'm talking about like photo, video, things like that. And this is the first time we've ever had someone who skates on the podcast. So without further ado, yeah, introduce yourself. Let them know who you are.
Man.
And I'll get into how we know each other a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, I'm Joe Vizzaccero. I think how long have we known each other now? It's been quite a few years.
4 or 5 years? Maybe longer.
It feels like longer, if anything. I know we skated a ton. You know, we filmed a bunch of neat videos together and just, you know, had our fun at the parks and everything. And deep conversations about NFTs. You know, I hate myself for bringing that up.
We love them.
God, don't get me started. But no, yeah, I've been skating for 12 and a half years now. Yeah, just out here doing what I can do.
Sick. Yeah, so that when I first met you, though, one thing we had in common was that we're both from Michigan originally.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering, I guess what we're going to cover in this podcast is I'm going to talk about how we got started skating. We're going to talk about street skating, park skating, different companies that both involved in and or enjoy. Just a little bit. We're going to cover all the ground. So I guess with that being said, when did you first start skating? Like, what was the first board you had? How did that happen?
So, I mean, I tried to skate when I was like a little kid, and I think I had a World Industries board, and it had like the little like flame boy and water guy.
Where did
thing.
It come from?
Oh man,
Was it Zoomies?
No, I don't even think Zoomies was a thing when I tried that, because I was like, I don't know how long they've been a thing, but I don't care about their life. So no, but I don't know how old I was. I was really young, and I tried to start. I honestly, like, I went to like the parks and like rolled around a little bit. I couldn't do anything, so I don't know. A lot of kids try, but then I ended up stopping and played a lot of video games and typical growing up, you know, teenage boy things. And then I mean, I say that, but like I actually started skating and trying when I was it was between 9th and 10th grade, so it was like 2009.
Okay.
Yeah, 2009 or 2010. And like in the summer there, and I remember because like the board that I had then was just like this like blue painted board with like neon orange grip tape, because I got it when I was like a little kid, like after that World Industries board.
The bright colors are always great when you're a little kid.
Yeah, honestly. And like I just remember seeing this like neon grip tape. I'm like, that's sick. So my like 8-year-old brain was like, just buy it or whatever, make your parents buy it. And but no, like I remember seeing that out in my garage, and I was just like, dude, I'm sick of like sitting inside and doing nothing and playing games. Like, it's all fun and whatever, you know, you're hanging with your friends like online or whatever, but like I wanted to get outside. I wanted to do more things. And
Sure.
Went onto my garage and saw that thing there, brought like a Bluetooth speaker out. I'm like, all right, let's actually like learn how to skateboard, like starting now. And I ended up learning how to shove it just like right then and there in my garage. Like, after a couple hours of just like messing around, and I was just like hooked. Like,
that's
from there.
pretty like unusual, actually.
Yeah,
I feel like it took me a mile and a half just to get an ollie down.
Hey, that's not bad either. No, but yeah, no, I mean, it's I don't know if I could really, I could ollie like a little bit by the end of that session, but like it was more of just like a little like shove it on the ground and like get it to, you know, enough to count and like be excited for. So I was just hooked from there, and just glad to be like up and active, and, you know, I don't know,
have something to do. Well, I guess because I mean that goes to say that because a lot of people kind of get into like intramural sports through like school and stuff like that. And I guess that kind of points me to another question is, were you ever involved with any intramural sports? Because I know growing up for me, I was like, a lot of people don't know this, but I played like soccer, I played like t-ball, and I played like baseball, and then like basketball, hockey. I like played all the sports.
Nice.
And then I landed on skateboarding. But were you ever involved with intramural sports before you skated?
Not really. Like I played, so I played like Little League, you know, baseball growing up, and it's funny because in high school when I was like, I started skating, and then maybe a year in, I was like, do I want to skate or do I want to do like lacrosse.
Oh, I played lacrosse too.
Did you? That's awesome. Yeah, my sister
Yeah.
she played it and she was really good at that, and it was cool like seeing her play. And like I got a stick of my own, and we would just like play catch in the yard or just like mess around with it there, and it was really fun. Honestly, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So I was like, I kind of want to try that too and like join the team, but me being in high school for some reason thinking about money, I'm like, that's gonna cost like my parents so much money to get me involved in, and I'm like, maybe that money can go into skateboarding instead of that. So I'm like, I held off and decided just to skate. My parents probably would have been like, dude, just do both. Like, I probably wouldn't have cared, but like for some, I just never been good at asking for things. So I was just like, I'm just gonna skate. It's okay. Like you don't have to put me in that. It's okay. Like, and I just kind of did that. I kind of wish I did join it because like it would have been, I don't know. I just like being active and playing sports and doing things. So.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Oh, that's cool that you landed on skating out of. I mean, could you imagine yourself playing lacrosse today?
Today, no. Probably. I mean, hockey, probably. Honestly, I've been thinking about getting like a pair of skates and trying to just do it for fun, even if you go shoot around with friends or something. I don't know a place around here to do that, but I think I'm cool to look into.
I think I'm pretty good at hockey. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, you played. You're gonna come out there and dangle crazy and make us look bad. So no.
Yeah.
But yeah, I might try to pick that up just as an extra fun thing to do, just on the side. Maybe on a day off of skating, you can go shoot around at the local rink or something, and that'd be kind of fun.
Yeah, it's fun to do that on the side.
Yeah.
But skateboarding, I think, is always like the thing that kind of keeps you hanging and keeps you rolling with it.
Literally.
So when did you once you kind of got into it, what was the next trick you learned after pop shove it?
I mean, fairly, I don't want to say typical progression. I've always been a weird skater, man. Like
You mean a good skater?
No, ain't no good and bad. No, I learned shove its and ollies and pop shove it, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I of course went to kick flips and heel flips. I think I got heel flip first because I kept like what do they call it, chicken footing, where you like one foot's on the board and your other foot you land right next to it because you're too scared to put your feet on the board.
Yeah.
And I kept doing that with kickflips. I mean, since day one, like everyone that knows me, I'm terrible at kickflips, and I hate them. I like switched.
Wait, you were doing that with kickflips or heel flips?
On kickflips.
On kickflips.
I had heel flips pretty decent. As decent as like your first learnings can go, and I would just try to make myself do kickflips, and I would like dance around it. I would land one foot, on it and one foot off it, and I just like needed to make myself land it, and I ended up getting that finally. And then it was straight to like varial flip and then nightmare flip. So I learned that.
What?
I learned nightmare flips, which is a double kick flip with a pop shove it. So varial double flip basically, which was weird. Like right off the bat, I'm already starting to I'm trying to do like double flips, and like it's always been this way. And I tell people all the time, I'm like, because people always tell me like, why did you even learn this trick? How did you even do that? Like, where does your mind go to get there? I'm like, I don't know. I land a trick and then I think, can I do that double? Can I do it triple?
You always think like that.
Can I late flip it? What can I do with it? I mean, it's skateboarding. You don't have to just regurgitate what you saw online or like what you saw some of your local park do. Like, obviously, by all means, go ahead, but like, do what you want. Whatever comes to mind, try to figure it out and make it happen. So
it's funny you said that. When I first learned kick flips, this is also something I don't think a lot of people know. I was doing disco flips. Like
what?
Or not disco, whatever the one is where
the hospital flips, or
it was kickflip
or whatever.
I would land kickflip sex change. That's what it is.
Oh, okay.
And it was because my shoulder would turn every time I do a kickflip because I thought that your like body had to turn when you flip the board.
Yeah.
And so I'd always like land that way. And it got to the point where I learned that first, and then I got to kickflip. But it was like someone was literally like, "Stop turning your shoulder. Just stop." And then I finally did it. But
I mean, that's crazier though. Like
yeah,
that's a trick that'll get people letters in skate nowadays.
Yeah.
So it's funny. But, yeah.
No, it literally will. That's why I have that trick. But it's crazy. It does take a while to like progress through skating. I mean, I've been skating for how long have you been skating for now?
12 years, 12 and a half. I think 13 years will be this summer.
Yeah.
2022 here.
And it's crazy because like obviously everyone progresses at their own rate. I mean, it's pretty obvious by you look at how Joe skates versus how I skate. Like we've been skating probably the same amount of time, and you can do a million more tricks than I can. And it's crazy to see like just how everyone like progresses at their own rate.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about a million more tricks than you. I mean, you got all these slappies and really creative things too, and I don't know how you get like that, like how you do that stuff. So I don't know, that's the thing with skateboarding is you hear so many people, and I mean, there's a lot of things in today's day and age where like it's social media driven, it's online, it's show your best, hide the rest, like make sure you look cool, like make sure everyone's like liking your stuff. Like I get it, I do. Obviously we want to show off our talents, we want to show off what we've been working hard on, of course, but like you know, I feel like there's a lot of pushes for like you need to be the best, you need to be really cool, you need to be liked, and like I mean don't worry about that, you just skate, go do your tricks. Like I mean that's just it. Like it's easy to say, it's harder to do, and you know, I've been there too, and I mean, it's one of those things where I was gonna say I was getting to the point of like a lot of people sit there and they say like, oh, like you know, I'm horrible at skating, I'm so bad at this, I'm so bad at that, or like oh, like this person's super good, this person's super bad. Like there's such like a good and bad, and I've always argued like there's no good and bad. It's just how much time did you put into it, and like what have you learned and what haven't you learned? Because like you could take any pro off the street and like you might have a trick that they don't, and like hey, they're pro and like oh, they're so good and crazy and all this stuff, but like yeah, they just put more time into, you know, their craft. And you know, I mean there's so many skaters that it's like taking like locals and stuff, like Scum, local skater, he shreds like transition. I mean, he's got flip tricks too and everything, but like his craft is definitely in like a half pipe or like a bowl, and he just does some unreal stuff with that. And like big ramp stuff, and I'm like, you'll never catch me doing anything like that. Like so it doesn't, you know. And then there's me where I'm like, I'm doing a lot of flip tricks and like technical tricks
that I'll never be able to do.
But like that's just it. It's like everyone kind of has like their specialty or like their forte that they were more inclined to do. So it's always like, you know, if anyone's listening to this and they want to take anything away from that, it's don't think that there's good and bad. There's just like, hey, what have you learned, what haven't you learned, and do whatever you want to do. It's skateboarding, there's no rules. Like you're not gonna have some like dude come up and yell at you for like, hey, how come you can't do this trick, or hey, how come you can't, I mean like
Well, actually that's a kind of a good segue. I was gonna interject on this question and ask like, has anyone ever given you shit for skating? Because for me, like the one time someone gave me shit that's gonna forever stick with me was in high school. I want to say the last 2 weeks of my senior year, this like football coach of all people, of course it's the football coach, walks up to me out of the blue when I'm sitting at my desk like in a video editing class, and he's like, because I have my board with me I think, and he's like, you're not taking that to college with you, are you, bro? And
absolutely,
from that day, like I remember looking at him and I was like, I'm definitely taking that to college with me. Good. And I think he walked away after that.
Good.
But that's like the one clear memory in my head. Have you ever had like an encounter like that where someone's like,
oh yeah,
that shit sucks?
Oh yeah, I mean people, I mean I get random messages, like not a lot, but you know from time to time I'll just get a random like DM or something where people are like trying to like talk trash on one of my tricks. Or like,
so it's messages you get, not like in person.
I would say it's rarely messages. I mean, I've had a small handful. I think typically people are pretty cool, but like you get a good mix of people like out in the streets or the wilderness or whatever you want to call it, and they're just like, they try to like shrug off like if you do like a crazy trick, or like you know, I tend to lean towards a lot of like I always want to learn things that are like lesser common. Like
for sure.
If everyone's going out there doing like kickflip back lips, I'm like, I mean, it's cool. Like, that's a sick trick. That's awesome. I wish I could do that, to be honest. But, like, I never put the time into learning it. I'm like, I'd rather do, like, hard flip back lip or something like that. I want to do something that's more comfortable to me, or, like, something that I've never seen. Because I'm like, I wonder if I can, like, make this come to reality, or, like, see someone do it, you know? Like, so I love following, like, these skaters that do these really tech creative things. And, like, I want to see if I can do it myself. So I always gravitated towards that. So when I bring something weird, like a tray double hippie flip or something, and you know people, I'll get all, I've heard people in person and online and everything just be like, why do you waste your time with these circus tricks? And
whoa, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, and I just laugh. I mean, I don't there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, to them, there's a few things. It's either that they're insecure about their tricks and they're jealous that they want to do something weird like that or crazy or creative instead of like following the crowd, or maybe they just think it is stupid, and I'm like, but I don't care. Like, I didn't do this for you. I just did it because I wanted to do it. And it's fun. Like, you know, that's where it's like, I'll get things like circus tricks. I'll get things like, why don't you kickflip a stair set instead of going straight for like a laser flip or something? And I'm like, all right, well, why don't you go kickflip it? Like, I don't want to do a kickflip down it. Like, everyone else can do that.
Did you get that message after you fell down the stairs?
When?
Recently.
Oh, no.
Oh, okay.
No, definitely not. No, that's like old stuff. Like, I don't know. The most recent stuff is probably just like the circus trick stuff again. Like I hear that from time to time, or just a lot of stuff. And I mean, honestly, if anyone's ever negative, like I just kind of laugh it off because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, like, I'm not out there doing tricks for them. So if they want to sit there and get all mad about it, like,
Free engagement, baby.
yeah, I'm like, I mean, sure, like, hey, you know, share with everybody and, you know, share it on your story how stupid that circus trick is. Well, you know, do what you want to do, man. Like, I wanted to do it because I wanted to do it. It was fun. Like, I'm just going to keep skating, man, because, like, I'm not skating to perform for you. Like, I'm seeing how I can push my boundaries and, like, my levels and see how technical I can get, or, like,
Sure.
how
Yeah.
far can I take these tricks. So I'm going to keep doing my goals, you know, and I'm going to keep doing my thing. Like, if you don't want to do them, I'm not telling you to do them. And by me doing them, it shouldn't make you feel insecure enough to come at me for it. So, like, have fun with your sad life. Like, I don't know what else to tell you. I mean, it is what it is, man. Like, when people get rude about that, but
that, I mean, it kind of comes back to what you were saying earlier, to kind of bounce back into that, because like, you've obviously spent time learning these tricks, which is why you have them. And so what I was gonna say is, when you're practicing skating, where do you find yourself? Because a lot of times, like, there's not always, for me, like, I'm always kind of moving around and I can't just like always go to a park.
Yeah.
Especially like now in the winter.
Oh
like,
my gosh.
I mean, we have like Fargo that's like 45 minutes, 50 from here.
Yeah.
But like sometimes it's just the roads are too bad and I can't go out there.
Yeah.
And so I miss out on days of like skating. And I feel like me more than most people miss out on more days of skating than usual. But what do you like for practicing skating? Do you find yourself like going like, all right, I for sure need to like twice a week, other than obviously when you're hurt. But like when do you practice, and like do you just hit the garage if you have to, or?
I mean, that's a good question. Yeah, I mean, growing up, I would go right into the garage and just practice there. I mean, I think this is something that any beginner skateboarder can speak to. It's sometimes you'll go to the parks, or sometimes you'll try to stay at home, but wherever you go, you're trying to stay out of like public eye because you're embarrassed that you can't do tricks.
Yeah.
So building on the last conversation, if you are newer to skateboarding or trying to get into it, don't be embarrassed about not knowing tricks, because seeing that at the skate parks, I love it, because I'm like, those were the days. Like, I love, like, it gets a lot harder to learn tricks the more you learn, of course, because it's like they just get harder and harder. So like being able to have that where you have all these new tricks to look forward to, and you're starting out and like you're learning, like, build off those skaters that are doing the crazy tricks. Like, don't think that they're judging you, and if they are, like, who cares? Screw those people. Like, that's trash. Get that out of skateboarding. You know, we don't want egos here. So but yeah, like, I'd always go in like my garage if I, you know, didn't have a ride to the parks back in the day or any street spots. Sometimes, like, you know, I had a lot of friends that, like, I didn't really always have like a core like skate crew or anything. Like, I didn't have like a whole group of skaters to like skate with. You know, I had a couple friends in high school that did it, but you know, I'd have other friends that would like have bikes, so we'd like bike around town and stuff, and then I'd start skating around town with them biking, and, you know, we'd make up to like the local middle school or some open parking lot or somewhere with like a curb to like practice tricks on and off of and stuff. And so like wherever I really could, but most of the time I'd probably just go to the parks because it's easy and you have all the materials there to just have fun and, you know, learn your tricks. So you know, I want to hit more street stuff here. I don't know a ton of spots around here, so I've just been kind of surveying and scanning to find them. But yeah, I mean, anywhere you can, just, that's kind of where I'd always try to practice. Like, it didn't matter, you know, on the carpet. Nowadays, I mean, shameless plug with Rev Balance. Since I'm an ambassador for these balance boards now, I actually got a Rev Balance board before I was an ambassador for them. And because I wanted it so bad, because it's just like a skateboard shape and it's on a roller and you can do it inside. And I'm like, dude, if it's raining, if it's like snowy and winter and disgusting out like it is here right now.
I do that now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And being able to, with it being a skateboard shape and, you know, all the concave and stuff, you can actually practice your flip tricks. So that's been great to do through the winter and, you know, even on days off just to practice. So even that'll translate, so I'll do that, you know. But, I'll
second that too. I mean, I'm not just saying that to like be like, oh yeah, go buy this thing. Like, no, it actually works. I've been noticing my balance getting better. I was able to hold a nose mani the other day.
I remember you told me that.
For like, I think it was like 10 seconds or something. I was like, I've never been able to hold that more than 2. And I'm already at 10 seconds. So that felt good. And like, I was able to hold a manual longer. And I don't know, it helps. So I will say that about it. So I think it's a good thing to have in the winter, especially times like this. I mean, I have it just like right in my room right here.
True.
And just stand in the corner of my room doing it, which is nice.
I don't know where to put it, but...
And it's a good core workout and keeps you kind of going in the winter.
Yeah, I was going to say, when I first got mine like 3 years ago now, 2.5 years ago, I don't remember how long it's been since I bought that first one, or I got it as a gift actually. But I remember like, I'm like, oh, I've been skating for, at the time it was like 9 or 10 years, like... I'm so, like, you know, I'm pretty fit. Like, I'm good. Like, I have stamina. Like, I skate for 8-hour sessions and stuff like that, whatever, no problem. And then I literally got that balance board, and I was on it for maybe 10 or 15 minutes, and like my like obliques and like abs were like sore for like 2 days. And I was like, how? Like, I do this all the time, but like it works out different muscles, which is cool. So you can do a ton of workouts on it too. And like that was me just trying to like learn how to kickflip on it and stuff.
Yeah,
For 10 minutes, and I was like already sore. I'm like, okay, this is pretty cool. Like, now I can get like a little workout in, and also
skating.
practice some skate stuff and balance. So that's been pretty cool. I'm glad I came across them those years ago, and I'm glad to be a part of them today.
That's sick. That's sick.
Fun.
I feel like it is it's a nice little tool to have.
Yeah.
But kind of bouncing off of that, so you grew up skating in Michigan. What were the parks like out there in Michigan versus like you having been? How long you been in Illinois for now?
I had family. We came out here in like part of my family came out here in like 2010 or 11.
Okay.
But I didn't. I ended up going back and finishing off high school in Michigan because it was a tough time to move. That was a rough time for sure. But I just wanted to finish high school where I knew and where I was comfortable. And,
Absolutely.
Then I did like a year of community college. Then I went to Illinois State University starting in 2014.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when I like fully moved out, was 2014. So I've been here, 7-8 years now?
Oh, nice.
Oh my gosh, yeah, it's been a long time.
What do you think about like Michigan? Because you skate more. Well, I guess I didn't really ask you that, but you probably skate more parks than street, from what I've gathered, right?
Yeah, definitely. I think it just kind of goes back to never really having a core crew that's like trying to go out and skate street all the time and like genuinely go skate it. Like people talk about it all the time, but it's hard. Sometimes it's hard to walk the walk. I get it, but like,
yeah,
me not knowing the spots is still partially an excuse on my end, but like
sure.
I genuinely don't. But I've been looking a lot more the past like year and two, and trying to get out more and just get people to go out and hit those spots is definitely a thing.
Absolutely.
I know we've hit a handful, when we did our like Welcome to Grind King thing,
Mm-hmm.
and just some other like mini edits, and that's been super fun. But I kind of have to initiate that. So like half the time I'm like, dude, like
do.
I'm just done with work for the day. Like I need to go get a session just for me, like mentally. So I usually just run up to a park or something. But skating in Michigan, just to get back to your question, I spent like 19 years of my life there, and
how many of those years were skating?
What was it, until like 2014? So, and I started in 2009, so like 6 maybe.
Okay,
5,
so you
6
spent a
years.
good amount of time going to parks out there.
Oh yeah. So like hometown park.
Is there any you want to shout out, or any like
Oh, yeah.
that you have to point to?
Yeah, we definitely need to. If you're ever out in the Detroit area, I grew up in South Street Skate Park. Rest in peace. That was an awesome park. They still have a shop downtown Rochester
Sure.
Hills, Michigan. So go check it out if you're in the area. They got a lot of cool stuff, and it's a beautiful shop. So, I grew up there, and just loved the community and everyone there. They really got me going on a lot of stuff, so that was really cool. Aside from that, we had a lot of indoor parks when I was growing up, and a lot of them came and went really quick. We
Same.
had it's tough for indoor parks. That's why, if you go, like, definitely try to support them as best you can.
For sure,
and
for sure.
support all of them, and it's a tough business to run for sure. But we had like South Street Skate Park, we had City Grind Skate Park, we had Oakland Vert. Modern is still there. Landslide, I think, just shut down. But right now I know Modern Skate. A lot of people know that's a huge park.
Love Modern.
Great park, yeah, great people. George, the owner's an awesome guy. It's always a fun time there, and they've got a ton of stuff for you to skate, and that's always a great one to go to. So every time I go back, I try to go. They have a thing called Fossil Night, where it was like 21 and up, which they would, if you're like 18, you can go in. They just mainly were like, it's 9 to midnight, like every Wednesday it used to be. I don't know if things have changed, but
Sure.
I'd always go to that because you'd get your friends, you'd go late at night, just take a little trip over there, and just skate all night, and it was really fun. So I still try to make that whenever I go back to visit. But yeah, and then other than that, there's a handful of outdoor parks. I would probably know more now if I like lived there, because
Absolutely.
then I did have a car, but it was just like, I was like 18, 19, like I wasn't going too many places. I don't know, like
Yeah.
I was kind of keeping it more local, whereas now I'd probably try to find more and do more. But yeah, there's a lot of nice little parks.
The new outdoor one's sick in Detroit.
Dude, I still haven't been. I need to. I've visited a handful of times, but typically I was going for like really just to spend some time with my dad, and visit friends, visit family, and a couple of times, I've gone out there a handful of times for work because we're headquartered there. And
What's that Detroit one called again? The new one?
Riverside.
Riverside Skate Park.
And then they just had another one I think called Chandler or something that was really nice from what I saw. But yeah, I need to get to those because I see my friends post on Instagram all the time, and I'm like, this is like one of your newer locals. Like, this is nuts. Like,
What, you didn't see my viral TikTok video with it?
I've seen all your viral TikToks.
I'm just kidding.
Actually, I never go on TikTok. I just see them when you post them to Instagram.
Yeah.
So, but, I mean, the
It's
rare
there.
occasion that I'll open TikTok, it's always the first thing to pop up on my feed. So,
No, that park's
I need to use
really
them more.
nice.
But yeah, it looks beautiful. I feel like, man, the tricks I'd be able to learn if I just spent some time there for sure. But yeah, it's definitely a goal next time I go back to visit. So
Yeah, I think you should check it out. It's got just like a little bit of everything. There's between like all the street stuff and the way they like worked it in so that it flows, and you can kind of like go in a circle around the park, or you can hit a straight up and down line if you want. You can kind of like chill in one area and really hyper focus in on like a curb, or hyper focus in on like maybe hitting a bank. It's just like the way they've done it is, it's like beyond like human thinking in my opinion. Like they really nailed the design on that park.
So actual skaters built that park.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm really
you can
trying
tell
to
when
say.
they skate if they built that park, or if they don't skate and they built that park for sure.
So prefab or concrete? What do you prefer?
What's everything that we're including in prefab?
Prefab is more of like the Wheaton type of skate parks. So like, or how it used to be, I should say, like how like the Naperville park is.
Yeah,
how like the
skate
ramps
light and stuff.
You just grab the ramp, place it, go, rail, place, go. Whereas like the concrete, they're like pouring it, and the concrete's more of like the Riverside Park. But
yeah,
I don't know. What's your take on that? Because for me, I am a big concrete park guy because I just got worn out on prefab. But
once you skate enough bad prefab parks, you're gonna want only concrete, I feel like. But I would definitely say concrete over anything if it's done well. If it's not done well and things start sinking in the wrong places, or stuff like that, like, I'm not trying to knock any builders, but like, it seems like some of them are rushed and some of them are kind of like
for sure
half thought out.
I'd agree with that.
And like, it is what it is. I mean, plus, like, we live in the Midwest. The winters suck. It gets cold. It gets snowy. It gets windy, and things expand and contract in the heat and the cold. So, things change. But I mean, for the most part, I think concrete's way better if everything's smooth and just kind of made well. Obviously, I've skated bad concrete parks too, but I think prefab's definitely like, they never keep it up. It's rare to see a park like do nice like upkeep for their parks, and I get it. Like, there's a lot of people that like gravitate to skate parks even if they don't skate, and they kind of trash the place, or just do stupid stuff and try to like kind of wreck some of the things. And I mean, the city's like, I get it. I mean, skateboarding is founded off very rebellious ideals, so like, I get it. Like, you're gonna go act out and be a teenager, do your things, whatever, but like, if you use those skate parks and you do that stuff, like, try not to. I'm not gonna fault anyone, but like, the cities, like, if you want that park to be upkept and like rebuilt or redone or anything, like, take care of that park, clean up after yourself, like, do what you got to do, and try not to just destroy it, because the city's going to go, all right, I'm not going to redo this. I'm not going to put the money towards this because this costs a lot of money, and I'm not going to fix it. It's just going to get wrecked again. So like, you guys are out of luck. Here is your dying skate park. And then you just complain about having a bad local park. Like,
when I was at the Detroit park, that was one thing that separated it from a lot of other parks, is like, I saw some trash on the ground there from people that were already there, and I'm not gonna lie to you, like, I literally saw people there going to people being like, "Yeah, I saw you drop that. Like, clean that up, clean that up." And like, I even once I saw people doing that, like, I was like skating, and it felt like I was like hyper aware of like everything around there. I was like, "Don't like drop anything on your pocket," like, you know what I mean? And I was like, "Oh, is there any trash over there?" Like, and it proves that people are trying to like keep it up, and they have signs all over saying like, "Hey, keep this up," It's like, we got to preserve what we have.
No, I love that. That's
being
great.
Right up against the water in the Midwest, like, it's like you don't know what's gonna happen.
I mean, I know like I don't want to call it like lame or something, but like, as a kid, there's a lot of times that it's like, oh, like, littering's dumb, and like, kids will just like throw their crap on the ground or whatever. Like, I get it. Like, it's all part of being a kid. Like, I've always been one to like throw my stuff away and like not leave anything on the ground, but like, I could see where like, as a kid, like, it doesn't really phase a lot of people, or like, you don't really care as much because like, you don't understand like much of like how it affects other people. What I mean by that is like, like I said, the cities aren't going to want this stuff trashed, or like all your local
For
parks, if they're
sure.
trashed and destroyed, like they're going to be like, screw you guys, we're not rebuilding this park. Like,
Mhm.
have fun with this outdated garbage park, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
So I try to do the same. Like if I'm at my local parks, like I'm not going around and picking up every bit of trash, but like if I see some stuff and I'm grabbing my stuff, like next to mine, like some water bottles or whatever, like I'll grab them and throw them out. Like it takes me 2 seconds, and there's a trash can typically like right around the corner at your park, or like somewhere. There's usually a couple there. So, you know, I'll try to throw them out and leave it a little bit cleaner than I came to it. But I also don't want to run stuff over when I'm skating, because I guess a big reasoning behind why I'm saying all this is because I've seen kids like at parks, and they've like had their McDonald's or something, or like they've had their like trash and they've eaten all their food, and they would just leave it in the park, not even like outside of the
I've
park.
seen
And
that.
like I literally watched a kid like chug a water bottle and slam it, and then like throw it on the ground, and then start skating. And then a little bit later in that session, I saw him hit his water bottle and fall because he ran over the cap, and the cap was like a
Treated.
stop rock, and he ate it and got all mad. And I
Karma.
literally was just in my head like, you're an idiot. Like that was your own trash that you threw into the park. There's a garbage can right over on the other corner, a quick skate away. And now you're mad about it and like throwing your board and stuff. I'm like, after that, I couldn't believe it. It was like watching a cartoon. I was like, this like
Pick up your
doesn't
own
happen.
trash.
And after that, I'm just like, I just laughed. I'm like, honestly, just throw your stuff away. You don't have to worry about running it over later. And then like I've seen people complain like, oh, there's garbage all over the park, and kids running it over and doing stupid crap and like leaving it everywhere. And like, I don't know. I don't want to hear people complain. I don't want to see people fall on their own garbage. Like, just throw it out, dude. Not to sound like
That's a
like neat
classic.
freak or anything, but it's just really funny.
No, it goes to show that, you know, people do need to clean up, and karma will get you. Karma will get you, kids.
Yeah. Definitely.
But yeah, kind of going off of that, I think, yeah, I guess we kind of covered all I want to talk about with like skate parks. Unless there's anything else you wanted to mention about any skate parks you've been to, or any of your favorites that you had in mind. I mean, obviously, like around here, my favorite indoor is Fargo.
Yeah,
I'll
absolutely.
forever go to that park. Not only, I mean, obviously they're like really good friends of mine, but
Yeah.
outside of that, it's just a really good park.
Just
And-
a good time, good
Yeah.
community, good skaters there. Like
Good community.
everyone's happy and fun. So, yeah, I mean, Fargo and the Den are close local parks. Love both of the owners to death. They're just some of the nicest people. They do a
For
lot
sure.
for their communities, both. You know, a lot of fun skaters go to each, and you know, they're doing a lot for the skating community. And,
Absolutely.
you know, I try to show my love to them, and you know, kind of support where I can, and
Same.
just tell everyone to go check them out. Like both of them, like a lot of friends come out of town. I'm like, hey, you better make sure you hit these 2 parks, because you know, you're gonna regret it later. Like,
Yeah,
you go,
yeah.
you're gonna meet some awesome people. You're gonna get some new tricks. Like, you're gonna have a great time, and both facilities are just great. So
Sure.
much love to them. Otherwise, like favorite, like, because that's really all we have for like. I mean, there's Asylum. There's Starlight is like a newer one.
Oh, I just
but
heard about this.
yeah, it's like an hour and a half away.
Pretty
I think
far.
from here, it's pretty far from here. Kind of tough to make it to without doing like a little, you know, maybe like weekend mission, or depending on
Yeah.
your work schedule. But it's good to grab some friends and go check out. Like I went there once with a few friends, and it was cool. It was a really cool park. You know, really nice setup. So definitely check that out if you're in that area. I think it's more north. I do not remember the city.
I think it's
But,
Dundee or Gurney or something like that. It's
I
like
think it is up by Gurney, isn't it?
Gurney. I think that's it. One of
Is
the
it over there?
E's.
I don't know, but it's called Starlight. So if you're up that way, definitely check it out. It's a sick park. I was like, if this was my local, I'd be pretty hyped too. But
Yeah. What's your favorite outdoor around
I
here?
was gonna say there's a lot of outdoors compared to Michigan. There's a lot of outdoors around here. Like,
Okay,
I feel like a lot.
that's a good
At least
answer.
growing up, I feel like there's a good handful. But then I came out here and there's like 2 in every city, so it's pretty cool.
And I think parks are more street league designed these days when they're
Yeah.
outside.
And
But-
I prefer that. I mean, I know
Cool,
there's
me
a lot
too.
of I know a lot of vert skaters and a lot of transition skaters. You know, they're gonna want their bowls and stuff like that and their half pipes. So, you know, kind of tough for them, but there's still some parks for that. So it's just good.
Sure.
You know, it'd be cool to see more of those, but it is what it is. But I mean, I prefer the street courses. You know, it's more of
Same.
my forte. And I mean, favorite around here, like I live pretty close to Frontier Park at Nequa, the high school there.
the new design you like better?
I like the new design a lot. The old one is okay. I never really would go to it though, to be honest. I was like, it was fun, but like it was like Phillips Park in Aurora is definitely one of my more favorites. It's definitely more of like a
Sure.
plaza-ish style. It's smaller, you know, not like a typical like big plaza, but I don't know. I like that park a lot. It flows really nicely, and there's a lot of
I'd
nice
agree with that.
obstacles, good practice stuff. I would say those 2 are probably some of the favorites. Other than that, I mean, I can't really think of like any.
You like Grant?
So this is gonna be a loaded question.
Okay, well,
this is gonna be a topic. I like Grant Skate Park. I didn't say I like all the people that go there. I'm not saying I dislike any of them because I personally like the park, so I go there. Do I like myself? We won't get into that. We don't have enough time. But, no. I do like Grant Park. I love that park. I would love to go there more. But every time I go, there's like some homeless people or fights or like people trying to act hard and demean other people. And like, it's just super toxic. And I'm not really, I mean, I keep to myself if I'm going to skate. Like, I'm going to skate to go skate. Like, I don't need to have this like whole contest with other skaters that are around there. Like, we're all here just to have fun, but like people try to act hard nowadays, so they're like, oh, let's square up in the park, or like, oh, who's trying to buy drugs, like, and that's not skateboarders at all.
I watched someone get punched in the face and walk out with a bloody nose there too, so and like police show up.
Yeah,
I've seen it all. Full 4 rounds.
Yeah, I mean, what was it like? Was it on one of the Go Skate days in the last couple of years? I don't know. I went there and there was a ton of people there. I think it was after like one of the Go Skate days, kind of like there was like a contest and stuff, and that kind of adjourned, and like there was just a bunch of people still there. And then there was this one dude just completely like out of his mind. This guy was gone. Like he was walking around, and you know, but you look at his eyes and like the lights are on, but no one's home. And it's just some random, like, I'm assuming homeless guy. And he's just like wandering around the park and just like doing these like weird like robot dances and stuff.
Oh god.
And everybody's like getting hyped because they're like, look at this like stupid situation happening. So like people feed off this like weird encounter. So they're like following him around the whole park and like watching him dance and encouraging him to like have a dance off and stuff. I mean, this guy didn't say a single word. He didn't make a single noise. He was just like he wasn't here. He was not here. And like people, I mean, there was like 200 people at the park, and they're like hordes of people just following this guy around the whole park.
Oh,
and
God.
People had like beer and stuff, and they're like dumping it on his head and like giving him beers to drink, and like they're just like cameras in his face. Like it was a wild time, and I'm just like skating the stairs, just like shaking my head, laughing, and like I think I saw some videos of like the groups like going around the park with him and stuff, and it was really funny. And then like 20 minutes later, like some huge fights broke out, and I was like, this is just stupid.
Not fun
like,
anymore. Yeah.
People are dumb, man. Like, I don't care about who can throw a punch. Everyone can throw a punch. Like, anyone can fight. Like, how about you just go skate? Like, go do it at home. Go do it somewhere else. Like, people are trying to skate. Get out of our way. Like, just, we don't need that there.
Skateboarding's weird sometimes like that.
Yeah,
it's
well,
like,
it attracts a lot of weird people, like, that don't skate.
Does.
Like, they just go there and they think they're like, oh, tough aggressive skateboarders or something, let's go challenge them, or like let's go act out at this park, like
steal their
go
stuff
somewhere else. Yeah, I've had a phone stolen at a park before. And I mean, it's an indoor park, so like not around here. It's like way back in Michigan, and like that sucked, you know. I was like, I didn't think people were like that, because there's stuff everywhere, there's cameras, like, yeah, people are bogus. Like, leave people's stuff alone, leave people alone. Go skate, go have fun with your friends. Like, come on, man.
Yeah,
so dumb,
this is like a conversation Joe and I, like, I feel like every time we hang out we talk about this stuff. Like,
something always stupid happens, and we're like, hey, did you see that? And we're like, yeah, I did. What's wrong with the kids these? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
There's always something.
There's always like some like weird like underlying drama in skating with just anything at all.
Yeah,
and we're always, every single time there's like, it's like someone at the park will do something, or it's just you name it, you get what we're trying to say. But it's like, at the end of the day, just have fun.
Yeah. Like,
just have fun.
This isn't all right, like, listen to me, look at me, okay? This isn't high school. This is not drama club. We're not here to cause drama, people. You go skate, you go ignore the drama.
Get on the board.
People get mad at you, just say, all right, man, sorry about that, and walk away. Easy to walk away and say, like, I'm not doing this right now. It doesn't make you cool or tough to act out. Just go skate and have fun. I'm sick of seeing people ruin their lives or other people's, or like get super stressed for no good reason when you should just be out having fun with your friends. Like, come on.
And then
this is skateboarding. We don't do that here.
On top of that too, another thing we always talk about is like support locals over corporations. I mean, any day. I mean, that's just a pretty like known thing. I mean,
I'd go out of my way forever to go to a skate shop rather than like, because I lived 5-6 miles from Azumi's, like, for the past 10 years, and I'd still go the extra 10, what is it, like an extra 15 minutes maybe in the car, like bump some good music and go have fun, go to your skate shop. Like,
those guys need money.
Some of the greatest things that have happened to me on skateboarding have come through my skate shop and just making connections and chatting with the guys.
That's where we met.
Yeah. I mean, that's really it. Like, I'd always cruise up to Jarek's because, it's just the first shop I found when I moved here like all those years ago. And, like the owner, Thomas, has just been nothing but like one of the kindest, like best guys ever. He's just always super giving to everybody. And, just built a great friendship with him. And I mean, still, like, you look at the Den, you look at Fargo, like, great people, like, they, go talk to them. They have opportunities, like, or they're just good people to talk to and hang out with.
Sure.
And, just have a good time with. So,
is there any, like, notable people that you've met through your time in skating, to kind of segue into a different topic here? Like, I mean, we've talked about, like you were just saying, there's, like, the people at Fargo, people at the Den. But, like, I guess a little bit more, is there any more, like, people around here or people you've met like in other places that you're like, oh, that's so cool, I never would have guessed I've like met this person, or like this person said this, and because of that, like, I'm now able to do this or something?
Yeah, I mean, of course I have to shout out the sponsors first because they've done so much for me, and they're just some of the greatest people I've met. And I mean, overall, I've met some of the like best people you could ever ask to meet through skateboarding. Like a lot of people think that it's like a rough crew. It's definitely like a motley crew. Like, it's just skateboarders are weird people, man. Like,
we're all weird.
It could be like a total businessy looking boring guy shreds on a board. It could be someone that's more eccentric and like very artsy, shreds on a board. Whoever it is, man, like it doesn't matter who you are, you could shred. And like, I've just met some stand-up people that a lot of people I've personally heard like judge and stuff, and I'm like, you can't judge a book by its cover, because I mean, you're never going to meet some good people then,
for sure.
But getting back to it, just people I need to shout out and like recognize, I definitely have to go with the sponsors first. So obviously Thomas at Jarek's Skate Shop, seriously one of the best guys ever. I've gone out to California with him and stuff, and just a lot of great opportunities. And he's just I mean, the stuff he does for the community too. Like, it's funny because a lot of skating and like shop owners and park owners do so much for their communities because they're so passionate about it.
Sure.
Big corporations aren't doing anything. What is Zumi's doing? I think they did they have a couch tour? Is that what they did back in the day?
I think they stopped that.
Oh,
in, like,
yeah.
2013.
I haven't seen that in a while, but like, what do they do that for like a year or two to say, hey, look, we're into skateboarding too? And it's like, sure you are. I mean,
it was barely even skateboarding too. It was like more of like stuff going on than like the actual like couch tour.
Right.
It was weird.
It was
a
couches.
weird time.
Like, it's about couches and stuff. It's weird. No,
yeah, it was weird. I was like looking through a store of a bunch of couches.
Yeah.
I didn't end up buying a couch. It was very strange.
Furniture ad. No. One more thing about Zoomies, and we got to get back on topic. I feel like this is one thing. So I want to commend them for taking in skate products and giving brands a chance to expand exponentially, because there's Zoomies all over the place. Like, they've done some good stuff. You have to give credit where it's due. But at the same time, with big corporations like that picking up these brands, kids will go there, or parents will go there and buy everything from there, while their local skate shop is trying to keep their door open, who knows more about the industry, who gives back to the industry. Like, I don't think Zoomies really gives back. I can't say that for sure. If they do, please send me some data, because I don't want to be wrong. Like, I'm not trash talking them by any means. Like, I would just rather support the local, because that's, those people do so much, and they give probably more than they even bring in. And I know that true in so many cases. I know that for a fact. From a lot of conversations and things I've had. But anyways, this isn't about that. So Jarek's,
no,
Thomas,
I agree.
Awesome shop. I love them to death. I will support them forever. Pitbull skateboards, I've been riding with Pitbull for a couple years now, and
they've been supporting you along the way.
Yeah, no, it's been good. Seriously, the best shaped board I've ridden in probably. I've never had a board that I was like. I used to ride Plan Bs a lot back in the day, Plan B skateboards. But I think it was just because I liked a lot of the skaters on the team. I wasn't really crazy about I didn't know much about the shapes. I just took whatever I had and I wrote it.
Yeah,
I was good.
That's a hard thing.
And then I started learning more about truck sizes and board sizes and shapes, and this board, even before I was on the team, I'm like, I am accurate with these boards. All my flip tricks are on point. There's something about the concave of this board that's perfect for these flip tricks and double flips and crazy stuff. I love it. So I was hyped to join that team, because that just means I get those boards now. I get to support that brand, and I get to, try to say, hey, friends, try this one, because it helped me a ton. Maybe it'll help you, maybe it won't, but at least you have the chance to try. I don't know. So
for sure.
It's been great to back a product that you truly believe in and love. So I appreciate them and everything that they're doing. Grind King Trucks, huge shout out and thank you. I just went out to California and met Donald, the owner, and team manager Satoshi. They've been nothing but hospitable and just super kind.
Sick.
And just true innovators. I mean, it's Grind King. They've been around for decades. Like, they've been actually innovating products rather than just finding a manufacturer somewhere and saying, hey, give me trucks.
Yeah, I mean, their trucks spark.
Yeah, true. They have spark
Some
trucks.
of them.
They're so fun. I love those. But I don't know. They're doing a lot of cool stuff, and they're always looking to better their things. And I mean,
awesome.
They're just open to everybody. Like, they love everybody and just trying to have a good time, and so it's been good. Sparrow Bearings, definitely a big shout out there. I know, like, Dan, the owner, he's East Coast. But, one of the, I don't want to say like smaller companies because they're doing some big stuff and they got some heavy hitters on their team. And I'm just so happy to be a part of it because he's somebody, like, the owner takes feedback very, like, positively. And,
Sure.
a lot of people don't, like, say, hey, send me what you hate about this product and give you a product. Like, and he's like, dude, if anything happens, you let me know. And even before I was, like, on the team, I know I had one bearing blow out, and I was just, I let him know because he told me to, like, hit him up if they did. And he just immediately, like Instagram video calls me. And I'm just like, I've never, like, talked to this guy in person, really, like, on messages, sure. But, like, so I was like, hey, what's up, man? Like, it was just really cool. Like, that's customer service. Like, that's personal. That's passion. That's, like, true. That's, like, a true, I don't want to call it, like, business owner, but, like, it's just a person. Like, that's someone that's real. And, like, hey, I want to know how to be better. I want to know how to, like, maybe this was a weird batch. And that turned out that was just a weird batch. So he sent me out other ones. No questions asked. I got him right away. Like, he's just been awesome. And, he truly cares about the people that ride his product, and he truly cares about his product and everything, and just skateboarding in general. So it's awesome talking to him. Skirt Wheels, local brand, on the come up right now, and just really taking time and effort to find the best quality wheel to bring that to the Midwest, because there's not a lot of, like, wheel brands in general, but there's not a lot out of the Midwest.
There's like Reed wheels. There's
Reed is good. I remember I rode those before.
I think Herbie Haskins put out a line of wheels under his, like, home brand for a little bit.
Oh, okay.
If I'm not mistaken.
I don't know if I saw that. I might have seen him before, but I'm not sure.
Maybe it was Bearings. I might have that wrong.
I know I've seen Bearings for sure.
There was another one. There's been a couple, but like you said, there's not like
much.
any notable ones out there.
Yeah.
That are, like, I mean, obviously I'm not diminishing those other ones, but
no, not at all.
I'm saying, like, there's not been, like, one like hard heavy hitting, like, Midwest one that, like, the homies are like, yo, dude, this wheel, this wheel.
And
like, there's not many like that.
And it's products in general, not even just wheels. Like, a lot of people start a board company, or a lot of people try to start their brands, and then they realize how much work has to go in it, and maybe it wasn't quite the right time for them, so they might have like, tapered off. For brands, I mean, it's hard to get exposure sometimes. Maybe they're trying to really make things happen, but they just don't know where to start. It's tough. It's really tough to start a brand. I mean, it's easy to start, but it's hard to really get some momentum.
And let's talk about that too in a little bit.
Oh no. But Skirt Wheels, like, it was made out of just straight passion and, like, hey, I'm gonna try to make a really quality wheel, not just, like, profit. And, like, some details behind that is, like, they're sourcing, they came to me and they're like, hey, we're gonna try to source, like, the best wheel. Here's some test ones, try these out. Here's some other test ones, try this. And, like, they give them to a ton of people, like, ton of local skaters, and say, hey, you're good at these, hey, you're good at that, like, ride this in the street for a few days and then let me know how they hold up and things like that. And, they're really working on finding that best formula. And I like that. I appreciate that, because a lot of people are just like, hey, what's the cheapest product I can get out, and I could just start pumping out some profit. And all the bands that I'm writing, or brands that I'm writing for, it's very much like, dude, how's the product? How's everything going? Like, is it good? Let us know.
Damn,
like,
bands should have team riders.
Bands, dude, yeah. See, this is where...
Yeah, there's not a team rider for my band.
Yeah, right. Honestly, that's kind of like a groupie, right? But, like, a groupie with some talent.
That could be kind of funny.
Yeah.
But you go back to what you're saying?
But, yeah, no, I mean, just, like, I can go on forever about this stuff. But, like, I love that a lot of these brands that I'm representing are really putting that time into quality and care. And even just to kind of build on that more, like, I have to shout out Rev Balance again, because they've been so awesome to work with as an ambassador. I'm not like a sponsored rider, but I'm a team ambassador for them. And they reached out to me for that, and I was super excited because I'm like, hey, I love this product, and now I get to back it more. Like, sweet.
Yeah, that you already like.
I love what they're doing, and they have the coolest balance boards. I've seen a lot of balance boards, like, at different shops or, like, workout facilities like gyms. I
Yeah,
can't
for
talk
sure.
today.
No,
I don't know why I
different
can't think of the
ones.
words for things, but I can't talk. But but I've seen them everywhere, and I'm like, like I never cared about a balance board, and then I saw these, and I'm like, these are sick. Like I need this, and
Absolutely.
then they turned out like, I mean, it's a skate one. I was like, this is gonna break. I've had it for years, and it's not even cracked. So
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, like these are
is
solid.
sick.
These are so solid.
Mm-hmm.
And then Jaywalker's Apparel is a newer one for me. They make the best pants I've ever skated in my life. I have
Oh, yeah, you've told me about them. I actually looked them up recently.
I'm like gonna give you a pair that I just got and make you try them because they're the most comfortable things ever. So, like, but no, I mean they stretch. It's like you're wearing sweatpants, but they look like nice jeans.
Sure.
And they've got a billion different colors and stuff, and it's just like I bought like 3 pairs, and then they hit me up too, and just like, dude, you want to like be an ambassador? And I'm like,
Dang.
let me learn
sick.
more. Like, sure, like I would love to back the product, but like let's talk about the details. Like, yeah, and they've been so sick to work with. They've been so much fun, and it's just really cool being on that team too. So it's a lot of great brands that I've met, and of course there's plenty of others. Like I can go on for way too long and like things to like shout people out.
Sure. Sure.
But I don't want to bore people with the details sometimes, of course. Like you'll see it on my Instagram. Like I'm always trying to throw kudos where they're due and just, really give the brands that I truly believe are,
Supporting.
oh yeah, like
Actually supporting
the
them.
world needs to know about these
Yeah.
brands. So I'm trying to do my part and what little part I can to push that and, in a very real
If
way.
you don't want to, then that's okay. It's
Yeah.
okay if you don't want to.
Yeah,
but
that's
they're
why
cool.
I'm not like, hey, buy this right now, buy this right now. Like, I mean, I'll say it about these pants.
Buy these
Like,
pants right now.
I mean, I can do it about
Buy 'em.
everything.
Buy them.
But no, they're I love everyone I work with, all the brands that I work with, and I'm just glad to be a part of such solid organizations.
Now, you brought up California a little bit earlier, and you were telling me how you just were in California.
Man,
Take me
need a
through
drink
that
after this one.
trip.
Gonna need a couple drinks to get through this one.
Oh,
This
boy.
is like a coffee peanut butter smoothie thing. Pretty good, not alcohol.
Go buy it. They're
like
actually sponsoring this podcast, so go buy it.
Yeah, no, they're not. But I needed my coffee as well as calories.
A generic peanut butter coffee smoothie is sponsoring it. There's no brand. They're just very generic.
Sponsored by Starbucks. No, I'm kidding. It's not Starbucks, but Starbucks. If you're trying to sponsor, let me know. Cause actually, no, forget
Let us know.
Starbucks. I'm trying to get Lavazza. I need a Lavazza coffee sponsor. 50 or 60 empty cans in my garage. I don't know. Anyways.
I mean,
California, I want to get into, but I don't because it's gonna be like PTSD mode. So it was fun.
don't give yourself PTSD, please.
No, I'm just messing around. I hope that's not insensitive. I don't mean it that way. But it was a quick skate trip with my buddy Adam Shamsky, who used to film some super slow motion skateboarding and just shreds on a board himself. Me and him went out there, and just for a week to skate and just get out of the cold. It's like negative 10 degrees here with the wind chill, and there's snow on the ground.
10
and
out right now.
Everything hurts. It sucks. So we're like, let's get out here for a week. Let's go skate California. There's beautiful parks. I'm accidentally clicking mute buttons, and it's just a fun time. And there's a street spot on every corner. So we get out there a couple Saturdays ago, and then Sunday we get up early and go to Jay Kwan. The legendary ledge is there.
Yeah.
Skated with the Grind King team, and
You don't really skate street like that, so that's probably like
I
pretty
like
fresh to you.
having a group to go actually skate street and take you to
Feels
spots
good.
and know places. It was amazing. I'm like, dude, if I had this like growing up and stuff, I would have like so many more things going on. Like I would have done so much more. But I mean, that's also on me too. Like I could do that too. But like,
Absolutely.
I mean, I don't know. I've been bugging people to do that, so I'm just gonna start bugging people more.
But yeah, your trip.
But yeah, so I mean, it just had such a great morning, and then after that, we went and hit a different spot, which turned out to be like an 11 stair with like angled ground landing, but it was really nice landing. And another one of
You
the
know a
team
lot
members-
about this landing.
I do know a lot about this landing. So this is day.
Wait, real
day
quickly
2.
before I don't mean to interject.
Yeah.
Can we real quickly go on that, and you can come right back to this. I think it's so weird how like as skaters we're always like looking at spots. I've always wanted to talk about this.
Oh yeah.
It's like so weird how we look at spots. Like to anybody that's listening that doesn't skate, one thing that we always do is like we'll like quote unquote like scope out spots. Like we'll look at it and be like, damn, dude, that 10 stair. But like anyone else that like looks at you is like, What? I just walk down there to go get my morning coffee, or like
what do you mean it's a stair set, bro?
yeah, or like we'll be like looking at a weird rail that like overhangs like a building that lands at the ground or something.
I gotta set the mic down fast. You're looking at it and you're
We're
going,
just like it goes like that. We're just like we're like weird like that. We like look at spots and like
you look at the world differently. I mean, most people are like sitting there staring at like, oh, look at this hot girl, look at this hot guy, whatever, like, staring at people.
You look at this hot spot, dude.
People are being creeps, and we're over here just like, that's a nice ledge, or like that's a nice stair set. And there's no like security guards. I have to go skate that. Like,
dude, there's no cameras at that spot.
Even if there is, dude. I mean, that's fine. Get us the clip. Like, let's get their angle. Let me see it.
Yeah.
But, yeah. No, we look at the world different because I mean, I think that goes the same in a lot of different things. Whatever you do, you're gonna view the world in a different lens. And as skateboarders, you skate wherever you want. You're just trying to do tricks on a piece of wood with wheels on it. Like, and you can do that at parks. You can do it in the street. You can do it on grass. Like, you can do it wherever you can make it work. You can do it. So it's like one of those things where you're trying to figure out how to skate the world. And
I mean,
I just think like you drive by a stairs and you're like, whoa, that looks really nice. I wonder what tricks I can get on that. Like, you know, and yeah, no, it's funny. It's really funny.
And that's why I brought that up too, because like you brought up the ground, which is why I had to bring it up, because like there you are being like, yo, the ground's kind of like this. Like we're literally looking at the texture of the ground. Like I've sent texts to people that I'm like, that's cheese grater ground there. We can't skate there. Like why do I know about? Yeah, like why do I know about this restaurant's parking lot ground?
Right.
Why?
Honestly, maybe we should be architects. It'd probably be. It's gonna be biased because you're gonna make like some company's gonna hire you and they're gonna be like, hey, we need like a front of our building redone, like the landscaping around it and stuff, and you're gonna put like a nice stair set and rail and ledge and be like, people go skate this. So you're gonna do it for the skaters. That could be a business though. Maybe we can look into some sort of skate architects.
Skarkitects. There we go. That's our business name.
If you steal that, we want royalties.
Skarkitects. We got the royalties for that. But back to the ground.
Yeah.
So you scoped out the ground and you saw it was like some angle ground.
Yeah.
Before you got to go to the set, and what happened?
It's a pretty famous spot. I mean, I think they were saying Chris Jocelyn just went and like varial heeled it or like did like a big spin down it or something crazy. And like, it's a big set, but it wasn't like massive. Like it was 11 stairs. It was like, I'm 5'10". It was taller than me, like standing on the ground level. And the ground was a little bit angled, but it was really nice landing. And, other team rider Gilbert for Grind King, he was throwing kickflip down it, and he was like sticking that like every try, and I'm like, that's gnarly. Like, and then he's like, give me like 2 minutes here. Like, you're skating a stair set that's that big, it's gonna be like a little, it's painful. Like,
sure.
And sometimes you might land a little weird. Foreshadowing. So I'm like, oh man, like I shouldn't skate a set on my second day, and the skateboarding in me comes out too hard, and it goes, dude, just give it one try. You can do it. It's just throw a hard flip down it. That's your bread and butter. That's your go-to. Like, you'll land that every try. So I'm like,
I mean, he's not wrong.
It's definitely wrong. So I'm like, I take my phone. Like, I'm going to give it one try. And I'm like standing at the top. I'm like, that's a pretty big drop, but like, this is so doable. I've done something like this before. So I run back. I'm like,
well, hang on. Quick interjection. I've seen you hard flip, like what, that 4-6 or whatever it is at Fargo?
The 8 one?
Like the 8 one? Yeah. I've watched you hard flip first try. Just walk up hard flip.
But that's like,
then you went to do this, and then you went to do this, and then what?
I go to this, and I'm like, oh, I got this. Like, this is fine. And but it's a new set to me, and I'm like, well, how much speed do I need? Like, it's decently long, but it's not that long. Like, this is fine.
Yeah.
So I'm hauling it, and I'm like, all right, throw one try. I catch everything perfectly. I'm like, oh yeah, I got this. But then I kick out because there's a split second in the air where my brain's like, what if you're not going fast enough? You don't land on that last step. Like, kick it out real quick and just try it again.
Oh.
I kick it out, and I misjudged how far I'm dropping, and my legs are fully extended, and then I went down a few more inches and just landed flat on my back heel and the ground and just shoved myself on the side. And like, it looks routine. I posted on Instagram like a week or so ago.
Yeah, we can show the clip here.
Routine bail. Fine, but like my heel was killing me, and like it was just like throbbing and just hurt so bad. So I'm like, I'm trying to get up, and I try to put weight on my heel, and I just like collapsed over and was like, oh great, like this is cool. I'm like, whatever, I'll just sit here for a minute. Gilbert's gonna get that kickflip, like I'll just film that and chill, and it'll be fine in a few minutes, and we'll just go skate a different spot, whatever. Yeah, no, my heel swelled up like crazy, and it's been a little over a week now that I've been back, so it's been like 2 weeks since that's happened, and I still can't like put weight on it. I mean, I can put weight on it, but I can't put all my weight on it, and it's it hurts to put a shoe on and off. Like, I don't know what I did to it. I thought it was just a heel bruise at first, so I'm like, oh, it'll be fine in 2 days, and I'll finish the rest of the trip. So the rest of the trip, I could hardly walk. I was walking on my back toes, and here we go being a skater again. I decide, oh, just I'm icing it, I'm elevating it, I'm like icing it 1,000 times a day, and trying to take care of it. And then here comes out the skater where it's like, all right, take some ibuprofen, ice it, tie it up tight in your shoe, and then try to get some skating in before the trip ends. Because, I mean, you get in a bad mental state when you're like, you travel to skate, and then you get hurt day 2 because you're an idiot. And then you're like, okay, I just came all this way to the best parks, the best street spots, and some of the best skaters, and now I can't skate. And like,
lovely,
5 more days here, 4 more days here, whatever, like that sucks. So like, you're just like beating yourself up in your head and just calling yourself an idiot because you're like, you shouldn't have done a big stair set on day 2 of the trip. Like, I know that. But after a few days, I was like, I can as long as I'm up on my back toes, it doesn't hurt. So what can I do? I can maybe do some switch flips or some nollie flips because your heel's not touching anywhere. And it's like, okay, or like I popped a couple tray flips, and it was like, as long as I landed up on my toes, my back toes, I was fine.
Yeah.
So I still got a few clips that I've been posting, and I mean, that was probably dumb, but skateboarders, man, like, you're going to find a way to skate anyway. So
I think that's like the one thing I take away from skating, though, is like, I think I've said this before, whether it's on a podcast or in person to people, but like, something I've always taken away from skating is like, no matter how hard you like, and that's it, kind of like the first-hand example kind of shows you best of like hurting yourself, then getting right back to it. Because it's like, I mean, you can obviously break a leg, break a bone, you can go to the hospital, and then you're gonna recover. Or like whether it's like something like you did where you hurt your heel, you're gonna get back up from that at some point and like recover, and something's gonna happen. But like, it teaches you more of like a deeper lesson there that like, for me at least, and I think this applies to a lot of other people, is like, you're not, no matter what happens in skating, you're gonna like get back to it and use that as like a life example of like, hey, this bad thing happened, there's good ahead, or like, you're gonna come back from this, and it kind of gives you that like, hey, get back up and go sort of feel in life. And like, I've had like terrible situations before, and I'm like, holy cow, if I did not skate right now, I wouldn't have this mindset of like, I can just kind of get back to this. Like, the fact that I've like hurt myself skating, I'm like, I can get back up. All right, now I've effed up in life, I can get back up and be good. I'm fine.
Oh yeah, I mean, I've done studies on it, like socially speaking. Like when I studied sociology in college, like I've done a lot of research and interviews on a lot of different people that skate, and like their life before skating, their life during, and stuff like that.
I know that.
And yeah, no, it was really fun. Honestly, it was really cool. I've done a lot of different stuff there, but it teaches you a lot more. And I tell this to people all the time, and they probably just laugh and go, all right, whatever, man, we get it, you like skateboarding. But it's like, no, it really does teach you a lot of professional qualities that a lot of other things don't. Like, for this whole example of like getting injured and then being like, nope, I'm gonna find a way to still skate. Like, you don't quit, you don't back down,
you just keep going.
You're gonna do what you need to do to get whatever it is you need done. So
yeah, absolutely.
And that's come up so many places in life. I take it to the workplace. Like, I'm like, I don't know how to do something at work. I'm going to sit there and figure out how. I'm going to talk to whoever I can to figure it out, or I'm going to figure it out on my own, or, do what you got to do to get what your goal is done. And, I mean, it's determination, it's motivation, it's discipline, because sometimes you just take too many bails and you're just like, I'm going to come back to this and I'm going to make sure I get it.
Yeah.
So if you need to walk away, like, walk away, but you're not quitting because you're not done yet. You're gonna be back in like a week, or you're going to be back as soon as you can to make it happen. And, it does a lot. It does a lot for you. And in some situations, it's like, you know what? Sometimes it's just a good break from everything else in life. Maybe you're just overworked or just stressed or tired or whatever it might be. You just need to go out and do your thing, throw some headphones in and cruise around,
Yeah.
But
yeah.
It does a lot. But,
no, it does. It goes a long way. And I don't know, again, I've already said this, but I don't know what I would do without skating these days. Like, feel like it's a nice little like
you'd be playing lacrosse
getaway out. He'll be playing lacrosse still. No, it's just like a nice little like getaway and escape from everything else, I guess, going on. And it's nice to just kind of have that to fall back on, and enjoy, and
it keeps you active. It's a good workout. It's a really good workout. But
keeps you rolling.
Something.
What were you saying?
Sure. No, I was gonna say it just keeps you rolling for sure.
Yeah, and it, like, Honestly, I don't know. I guess I don't. I was trying to think of like what else we could kind of talk about here. Is just kind of. I don't know. Maybe that'd be a good place to wrap it up. Unless you had any other thoughts, anything you wanted to talk about.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we can go on about everything for forever. I mean, we'll just have to bring more episodes if people like it. So.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's the last thing I'll say then is did you I guess I'll cut this if we don't talk.
Did you want to go into brand stuff?
Did you want to talk about your merch at all or no because of what you said?
Yeah, no, we can. Yeah, that's fine.
You want to
we
drop
can probably
it?
cut around this.
Yeah, I'll cut around this.
So yeah, I mean, other thing. Oh, I guess you can.
Oh yeah, I'll start. So I guess it's kind of the last thing. We'll kind of wrap it up here and and just kind of go over anything else you want to shout out. But
yeah,
Joe and I have. I mean, this is like one of those things we've kind of like talked the talk at this point. We haven't like walked the talk, but this is like the first video I think we've put out. Like that's not us just skating.
Yeah.
And we've kind of like pondered on this idea for a while now of like having a YouTube channel. We have a whole list that it could pull up at any moment of like 70,000 ideas.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
So someday we'll get to that. So there is one more thing we want to talk about before we kind of wrap things up here. So just through obviously like talking to you and through you kind of putting it on the internet a little bit, you're working on kind of a clothing brand right now. And yeah, I guess I don't want to like say too much about it. I'll let you talk about that a little bit.
Yeah. So kind of a little passion side project that I've, really wanted to kind of dig into. And I think a lot of people kind of get that in their head, but they never go through with it. So,
Sure.
I kind of had the same thing going on, but I wanted to start a brand. I think it would just be something fun to do, but then it kind of hit me of like what I really wanted to start, and it put a lot more meaning into it. And it's something that I'm really passionate about and really want to get into. So, I'm working on launching a brand called Stay Bummed. It's really just going to be a community dedicated to self-expression in all its forms. So, the name kind of sounds a little bit like dark or ironic, but what I wanted to do is really be a space for people to be able to bring their passions or their hobbies or like whatever gets them by in life. We all have those ups and downs, highs and lows. We have those days where like you just don't want to get out of bed, or maybe you're just super stressed. You're just not feeling your best self. And
for sure.
I mean, we have skateboarding that gets us out of that.
Yeah.
And I mean, you have filming and editing and like all this crazy stuff that you do that like puts out these beautiful projects. Like people have all sorts of outlets. And I think it's important to share those outlets. And
for sure.
Of course people do, but it's more of like a, hey, look at what I'm doing, or people don't get like a really, maybe they don't connect to it on a certain level. So with this brand, it's going to be a clothing brand. That's really just like, I want to make everything super comfortable and cozy because, I mean, I feel like I've had clothes before that it's like I've got and I'm just like, this is scratchy or like uncomfortable or like, I guess just another like shameless plug with the Jaywalkers pants is it's like these things are super comfy and they stretch like crazy. Like I need to skate in these. I have 8 pairs. So like, I mean, that says something. Like I love these. I absolutely love it. And so that's kind of like another push for that is like, I don't want to just like cut corners and get some cheap stuff and throw something together and throw it out there and say, hey, buy this stuff. I'm more like, I want to hear what people are doing to get by in life and what gets them excited, what gets them out of bed, like what keeps them in that motivated mindset and really keeps them going. But like with the brand specifically, like of course there's a brand, you're going to have some sort of goods or whatever. I want to make sure that if they are going to buy, like they don't even have to buy into it. If they just want to follow it, like that's all I want because it's going to be more of a positive message that I want to push. But if they do want to buy anything from it, it's really my main focus is to launch with hoodies, t-shirts, and sweatpants probably. And then really expand into like sweatpants shorts or joggers, maybe like cropped hoodies, just things like that.
I can confirm the hoodies are comfortable. That is a thing I can confirm as a owner of one of the hoodies currently.
Well, I love to hear that. So I know I gave you one and I handed out a few to some other people and I just wanted feedback because I don't want to just like get some cheap stuff and throw it out there and have people buy it and like try to make some money off this.
Not
like
worth it.
I just want to be comfy and I want everyone else to be comfy. Like if I can spend more of my own money to find a product that's going to be super comfortable, like I'm going to do that. And that's what I've been trying to do with these hoodies and everything. This is unprinted, of course, but what's going to hold up, what's going to be super cozy. So if someone's just like having a day and they're just like, I need to bum out in my like scrub clothes and just like, I need to be comfortable. Like when I don't feel comfortable, like mentally, like sometimes you're going to hole up on the couch.
Good clothing makes you feel good.
Oh yeah. You got to be cozy. So I'm trying to find the best stuff I can so people are comfortable. If you're comfortable, you're happy. So aside from that, like I said, it's just going to be a whole space where people can express themselves and really just, I think the biggest thing I want to do is highlight those pastimes and hobbies and passions. And I'd love to get some interviews going with some people, like whether you're a tattoo artist or a barber or a skateboarder or like a photographer, whatever it is you do and really keeps you going and gets you excited. I want to hear about it. I want to highlight it. I want to give people a place that they can go and find this like barrage of just like things that people do and get them excited, because then like I always tell people, like hobbies save lives. Like you need a hobby, you need something to look forward to in life. Otherwise it's kind of tough to like it's like be excited about anything. Like of course you're gonna be bummed out, like you're gonna get bummed. So
stay bummed.
Yeah, so that's where it's kind of ironic. And but it drew me in when I thought of that, and I was like, what does it truly mean to be bummed? And like, I want to try to put a new definition on that with this brand. So I'm working out some final things with that. I'm going to try to launch that this year and make it happen and just see if I could try to help at least one person, I guess,
Yeah.
That's a win for me. But,
yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah. So stay tuned for that.
We're all just bummed. Yeah. I feel like people in general too, like you just don't even know who's like really like bummed or who's really like feeling it really.
Yeah,
especially when you're at the skate park, I feel like people they're skate, what's up, and I've had it for sure I've been to skate parks before where I'm like, yo, what's up, how you doing, blah blah, good, and then like I'll get a text later on and be like, yo, I was like da, da, da. I'm like, actually I'm like not feeling too good, blah 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 blah, and I'm like, damn, I would have never known that. You could have said nothing. I would have never guessed it in a million years. And like you can't just like read people all the time. I mean, some people are good at it, but
it's hard to talk about. Like it's really hard to talk about feelings, or it's hard to talk about yourself, or sometimes people just don't want to like feel like they're complaining about how they feel. And I get that. I personally, like that's something that I've been working on, is like if you're upset or maybe you're having an argument with someone or just going through something, sometimes you just shut down. You don't want to talk. You can't speak. Like your thoughts are too loud, and you can't really vocalize what you want to, or maybe you're like worried about coming off the wrong way, or you don't want to just like sound like you're down and complaining and depressive and stuff. But like sometimes it's not easy to talk about. So maybe I can highlight where people like they put it into something. Like I'll put a lot of that, like by all means, like I don't have like a hard life or anything, but like I feel low on some days. Like I don't feel great all the time. Like I think that's inhuman to feel great all the time, or you have some secrets. But I understand it's not always easy to talk about how you're feeling, or talk about your shortcomings, or talk about, sometimes you're just not feeling that great. So, like, I mean, personally, like I sometimes shut down, like, if you're having an argument with somebody or having a hard time, whatever it is you might be talking about with people, and it's just hard for you to speak because your mind is racing, or you have so much on your mind. You don't know if you can speak eloquently enough and further the problem rather than try to fix it. So I just shut off. I'm like, all right, I'm thinking, like, I'm not ignoring you, but like, I can't really talk right now. I'm trying to like internalize everything and figure out what I need to say. And it's
interesting because it's like, you don't see that too often at the skate park. There's not like many people that can come up to you and just tell you about their problem, or tell you about it, because there's like I think there's just like in general like a lot of stigma behind it.
Oh yeah.
But like I've had plenty of times where I've been at the skate park and like someone will just be like, yo, what's up, cool, all right, whatever, and then like I'll go home to getting a text or like just anything in general about, I'll just get like a text or get like a DM from someone being like, yeah, I'm actually not feeling too good, or like, yo, this is going on, or whatever. I'm like, whoa, I didn't guess that when you said hey to me at the skate park. Like,
right.
Never would have. Or like, even if it's not instant, I'll find out like months later. I'm like, whoa,
yeah,
this person's like have problems.
Sometimes people, have headphones in, or maybe they're just like, I've had days where I go out to the park because I'm like, of course I just want to skate, but like, I want to get things off my mind sometimes, and people go and take care of some hobbies or, passions when they're, oh, I thought that was like coming from me. I don't know why. But yeah, so sometimes people go out and, they do their hobby and their passion because they're not there talking, they're there listening to music and just getting things off their mind. So, with the brand, with Stay Bummed, I really want to highlight that that's totally fine. Like, if you don't want to talk about it, like, show it.
Sweet, yeah.
And just really bring those pastimes, those passions, those hobbies to light. And I want to highlight those and talk to those people and just be like, hey, like, what is it that you do? Why do you do it? How long have you been doing it? Like, I'd love to get some interviews going to get things posted, or even just some short like write-ups and stuff. And I really wanted to highlight really just all of that and make sure that people have a little place to go to and be like, maybe someone needs a new hobby. Maybe like this one's getting old, or maybe I just don't have one and I need to find something new. Like, I'm having a hard time looking forward to something in life. Like, hobbies will give you that. Like, I mean, skateboarding, you're always looking forward to that next session, that next trick, the next people to skate with, the next competition. You never know. It could be a billion things, and it's exciting. It keeps you going. And at least for me, some people play music and they're like, the next song, the next level of, maybe you're playing guitar and it's like that next step in like chords, or if like you're just learning, maybe you're trying to learn a new chord and work it into a different rhythm, or, whatever it might be. And
absolutely.
I wanted to highlight that stuff and just really give people a place to find another outlet if they need to, or just really show off their own and, just keep it going. So if I can inspire somebody, at least one person out of that, like, that's a win for me, and I'd love to see it. So that's the goal.
Yeah, and I think that's really cool because it's like a really cool thing that you're doing there, because you don't find too many things like this out there these days, I feel like. I mean, sure, there's like people have like therapy and stuff like that, but like, as far as like skating's concerned in particular, there's not too many like go-to things for people that like, and you've brought this up to me before and you kind of just brought it up, but like skaters in particular, I feel like are the ones that need this like sort of thing. And it's cool because at the end of the day, it's kind of what this podcast is for, not on the level of like people's mental health, but like more on the level of like the kind of the community thing, to highlight what people do. And to show like, hey, there's people that do this for, and they wake up and they go do this. And I've had people on here that do like, I don't know if they're musicians. I've had people that are photographers, people that also shoot video, people that make like TikTok stuff. And I'm trying to expand my like group of people that are on here. And you're the first person I've ever had on here that skates, which is why I wanted to bring you on here.
Did you have Corey on one of yours, Henderson?
I had Corey on here, but we didn't talk about. He does skate, but we didn't really talk about skating.
I was gonna say that was about like Columbia.
It was about our college. Yeah, it's my most viewed podcast.
That was a good one. Yeah, it was cool.
But it's cool to have, you on here to talk about skating and
appreciate it.
Kind of switch it up, if you will, because I think a lot of people are just used to the creative. Not to say it's skateboarding. Skateboarding is definitely creative, but like they're used to like the video, photo, etc.
Oh yeah.
So it's nice to have you talk about this a little bit. And
you see it all the time, but you don't hear a lot of the behind the scenes stuff.
No,
and I mean, we probably got like on a lot more tangents and not very topical to some direct skate stuff. Even I feel like we got in some like goofy skate conversations. So there's probably so much more we can go over, but that just means we'll have to do it again.
Yeah, dude. I mean, going off that, I know I already mentioned it earlier, but going off that, just kind of like follow us both. If you guys don't follow us both on socials, what is your Instagram?
Oh, it's my name. Good luck spelling it. We can throw it on screen, I guess, if you want to do that. But
Vizzaccero.
Yes, I should change it to that. But yeah, it's just my name. It's just Joe Vizzaccero on Instagram, and I don't really use much else. So. And
then mine, I have WillMax95 on Instagram and TikTok, and then Max Williams Video on Instagram. But yeah, follow us both on there, because I think I mentioned this earlier, but we're gonna like eventually get this project together and get like a YouTube channel going, because we have, oh my god, so many ideas written down, and I'm pretty sure I saw it on your phone already. So we're gonna get to that one day, and maybe we'll bring up more topics. Yeah, because I mean, you and I could probably sit here for 4 hours and just keep going.
That's probably like shortcutting it, but we do have a fancy video from Fargo we're going to be working on soon when we're not injured.
Oh my god, I forgot. So
that'll be coming soon too. That's a whole nother project. That's going to be a battle, but I think that's going to be so fun.
Won't be the battle through the ice this time.
Oh my gosh, I hope not. I mean, hopefully we're like, I mean, it's February, mid-February, so it's not going to be warm until like May anyway, but hopefully the snow will be, staying away a little bit more. I feel like January and February usually are rough, but once we start hitting March and April, it's a little bit less.
Yeah, once we're
Knock
not
on some
injured.
wood because, it's the Midwest. You never know.
Once we're not injured, we'll get to that. It's going to be a cool project.
That'll be
Stay tuned. And hit that subscribe button, please.
Yeah.
Hit the
Seriously.
button.
Can I, click the button right below right here in the video and ring that bell?
Wait, no. Is it there?
I don't know.
Wait, it might flip, so it might be there. I don't know. It's somewhere.
We'll find out.
We'll find out.
I've,
But hit that button.
Yeah.
And if you're listening, hit the follow button on Spotify. I don't have any followers in there yet, I don't think. But I have people that listen on Spotify. I don't think I have followers.
I did not know that you were on there for some reason, and I will definitely follow because I would love to get that on Spotify, live in Spotify.
On all the platforms. But yeah, I guess that's it for the pod. If you enjoyed this, let me know. Maybe do more stuff with more skaters, or if you have any ideas, throw them either of our way. If you have any recommendations, let us know.
Oh yeah, always feel free to reach out. And I'm not gonna speak for both of us, but I love to talk to people, and I love to kind of hear different people's stories and just feedback in general. So
if an almost 2-hour podcast doesn't prove that, I don't know what will.
Oh my gosh, yeah. With a lot of cuts for this mic stopping recording.
Mic
so I
issues.
feel like a statue because I'm trying not to move this cord because I think that might be it, but Audacity is not
Mike.
Has the
Mike
Audacity
didn't interrupt us.
Yeah.
Come on, Mike. Get the hell out of here.
Yeah, come on, Mike. Do better.
But yeah. That will wrap it up.
Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, dude,
Glad
thanks
we can get this done. It's fun.
You have to do it virtual. It's in person, 2-person. First time ever done. So thanks again. Appreciate it. And we'll talk to you guys soon.
Yeah.
Bye.